Hey guys, let's talk about referral pads real quick. If you don't know me, my name's Tony Maritato. I'm a physical therapist and private practice owner, and it's 2023. I don't want you to think I recorded this 10 years ago. It is 2023. I do still use referral pads in my physical therapy clinic. And the reality is, even though every local provider is on an EMR and every local provider will print a referral to physical therapy from their system, they all still use the paper tearaway pads, 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, usually different colors with your clinic information on it. It's more of a convenience than anything else. It gives them an opportunity to give their patient a piece of paper that they can walk out with that has information about your clinic if that physician is referring that patient specifically to you. But the question is, why is that physician going to refer that patient specifically to you? I don't know about you guys. I've been in private practice since 2001. I've never before in my life seen physicians under as much pressure as they are right now to keep referrals within the system. I've had surgeons tell me this. I've had patients tell me this. They're being watched. Their referrals are being counted. Everybody is trying to get them to keep their patients inside the hospital network system, which I get it. If I owned the hospital, I would want to keep my clients inside my network. But that being said, I think the trick to using referral pads effectively is to have some sort of niche specific service that nobody else is offering. Now, some of you watching this, you're lymphedema specialists. And even if the hospital has a lymphedema therapist on staff, they don't have enough of them. So for you to create a lymphedema specific referral pad is something unique, something special, and something that doesn't compete with the in-house therapy centers. Other therapists do services for patients that have been referred to oncology. Other therapists are doing services like dry needling. The goal here is it's not 1985. We can't just generically say refer to physical therapy for evaluation and treat. We need to have some sort of specialized service. Another common one, outpatient therapy in the home. So a service may be where you're the liaison between patient has a total knee replacement, they're not getting home health referrals, but they're not capable of driving to the physical therapy outpatient clinic that the hospital owns. So there's a 1 or 2 week period where they need outpatient therapy in the home. The hospital doesn't offer that service. You come in as the specialized premier provider of that service. What about telehealth? That's another one that a lot of hospitals have moved away from, that perhaps you can incorporate. You can be that specialized service that the hospital doesn't have access to. So I'm going to tell you the old idea of, I'm going to get what we used to do, what we still kind of do. We'll get about 25 to 50 referrals pad printed. Yeah, they're tearaway pads glued across the top, cardboard backing. I do an 8.5 by 11 just because I want a full paper size. I only do about 25 pages per pad because I want the pads to run out. I want a reason to be able to send more pads more frequently rather than sending a pad with 100 pages that just gets thrown in the trash and then I have no reason to send them more pads. So that's my formula. I have been known, and I've shared other videos on the topic. I have no problem sharing referral pads, creating them, paying for them, distributing them with every single local therapy provider in my geographic area, because I know that if I'm not the best provider for the patient, I want that patient to have the option. I want the surgeon, I want the referral coordinator to have one piece of paper with 5, 10, 15 potential referral sources, so that even if the doctor sends that patient to another therapy provider, if that therapy provider is booked out for 3 weeks and the patient calls the next person on the list, that next person might be me. So I love group referral pads. You don't need to ask permission. It's all public information. It's just like the yellow pages in the internet and Google. You can just list every local provider on one referral pad, send it out to the orthopedic groups. I don't brand it. I don't make my listing any different than the others. And I have found that that works the best. I have found that manually dropping off referral pads does not work well. It never makes it past the front desk. I have been known to give patients a copy of the referral pad if the patient is willing to put that referral pad in the doctor's hand. But outside of that, about the best strategy, create a specialized service, market that specialized service on the referral pad, or create a community-based referral pad, and then just start a mailing campaign where every month you mail one or two of those referral pads to a specific surgeon or a physician group. You can actually mark the pads to see if you're getting those back in the form of referrals so that you know to keep sending them to that group. If you send them to a group and you don't get any of them back, just take that doc off the list and create a new spot for a new doc and test that market. But direct mail is usually the best way to distribute. It is definitely not worth your time or effort to manually go there. And I'm going to say, I know therapists that do actually go to the doctor's office to deliver a plan of care. It's probably the worst thing you can do because all that does is mess up their system. They want the plans of care faxed to them. That fax goes straight into the EMR. They can rubber stamp, signature it, and send it back to you. It's never put on a piece of paper. If you show up at the office with a piece of paper in your hand, that's just more work for somebody in the office. That is not an effective marketing strategy. So if you have anything to add, I'd love to hear it from you. If you're not doing referral pads, good for you. That's awesome. But for those of you who understand the convenience of just having a piece of paper you can rip off and put in the patient's hand, I think you can acknowledge that there's still a place for a referral pad in a comprehensive marketing strategy.